You.
Thanks, Marty. We'll catch up again with you soon. Well, fund manager AAM has been buying up big. It now has close to $1 billion worth of assets across the country, including pumping plenty of cash into Northern Australia as it expands its beef cattle supply chain investment. Gary Edwards is AAM's managing director. He joins us live. Gary, thanks for being here. First up, you've got a massive focus in Northern Australia, live export. Just how much does that mean to your business?
Look, it's absolutely critical to our business because it gives us a key outlet, servicing a country and the people over there that just want to eat beef protein. It is unbelievable, the demand, and it completely underpins our northern beef supply chains and the industry's northern market.
Now, in terms of what the industry needs to survive, what would you think?
Well, it needs young people. It really needs young people to come in and take these opportunities. There are tremendous careers. And I guess as a business, we're following the path that was set many, many years ago by CPC and totally integrating into Indonesia and hopefully into Vietnam later this year. And it's just a great career opportunity to create supply chains and do really unique things.
What about social licence? How much of an issue is that from your perspective?
Look, it's a fundamental issue. And at one of the events earlier this week, I made the statement that people need to be comfortable having uncomfortable conversations and talking to people that are our consumers, not the beef producers, potentially not the people watching this TV program, but the people that consume our product, that 98% of urban Australia that really doesn't get to see and understand the tremendous things that we do right around this country.
Some really interesting numbers coming out of the scorecard yesterday with regards to live export. How do you get those positive metrics out into the public discourse?
Well, we've just got to be prepared to have the conversations, Lindsay. I mean, openly, we shouldn't be ashamed at all of having those conversations because it's absolutely brilliant what happens these days. I've got staff members travelling with the cattle on the boats. We've got people in country working with the Indonesian partners on how they market beef, promote beef. We're seeing people eat beef differently, which is fantastic. And we're really starting to claw back some of the market that was lost because of the trade closure in 2011 to Indian buffalo, because we're seeing people that want to increase their protein intake, and their protein of choice, if they can afford it, is beef, and that's fantastic.
How do you improve transparency? I know there's things going on in the poultry space. Is there much of that being applied when it comes to beef?
Oh, look, there's more and more. And certainly from a company perspective, I guess we're taking the opportunity to be very open and transparent. We've got a lot more live feeds going on. I mean, if you talk about what goes on in poultry, we do the same thing there. There's a lot of misnomers in regards to what happens there. And look, probably people in the beef industry don't know that AAM grows about 25 million chickens a year. And we have some incredible technology that's being developed in that sector that will bring over the beef
Cheating
industry.
on beef.
Well, not at all. We're actually taking that information and the technology, because we've worked on some technology that will actually, using cameras, weigh a chicken or give us the weight of a chicken within 50 grams. Now, to take that and apply that to the beef cattle sector will be unbelievable as far as technological advances are concerned.
That's incredible. So it just uses a camera looking at chickens and is able to adjudicate a weight.
So it's a camera with an AI algorithm, and it's just millions upon millions of images that have been used to calibrate, and can give us a weight up to about 30 days of age with a 50-gram tolerance, which, to do that in the beef cattle industry and the type of gains that makes possible is literally unbelievable.
What comes first, the chicken or the beef? Turns out it's poultry.
Well, I've got to say, beef is always the fan favourite as far as our team's concerned.
Oh, good to hear. Now, as Cattle Australia Chair, you identified a few key issues confronting the industry. One was education and training, meaningful representation, market access. What do you think needs to be done on the education front?
Well, we've got to be prepared to get back into schools and deal with the governments in all states and territories, and actually take back what is our space and communicating what happens in agriculture. There's so many people talking about agriculture that know nothing about it. The education system gets its information about agriculture from well-funded, essentially activist groups that are putting their image out there. And every producer in this country and every beef lover in this country needs to take a look at themselves and get a bit fair dinkum and support the initiative that if we don't go and talk about this, no one will. If we don't give them the facts and move through that, no one's going to do it for us.
And if you could achieve one thing as chair, what would it be, Gary Edwards?
Oh, look, there's
We
so
won't
many-
hold you to it, or maybe we will.
Look, there's so many things I'd like to achieve, but the biggest thing is to actually get people in the beef industry to understand if they don't get involved in the advocacy and the policy, no one's going to do it for us. My learning, and I probably should have known better, is that when I first got involved in this, I thought others were representing the beef industry in these important meetings. What I found out when I got into this role is that Cattle Australia is the only organisation in the room, and prior to Cattle Australia being formed, there wasn't that impetus in the same way to have the engagement that we have today with government, which is fantastic, but we've got to be prepared to go and have that tough conversation, and producers need to understand MLA doesn't do this. They can't do this. They're prohibited by their funding agreement. So stop thinking that your $5 pays for your representation in your future. It doesn't, it can't. It does tremendous things in marketing and research and development, but we've got to get serious about talking about the future of our industry so it's there for future generations.
Gary Edwards, thanks for your time on Beef TV. Well, we are off to a break, but on the other side, we're live with Queensland's